Yeah, but here we are. Hello, this is Colleen Smith. We're down on Torquay harbour side with quite a large crowd of people at 4 o'clock to witness the final goodbye of the cruise ship Oosterdam, which you might be able to see out there, halfway between Torquay and Brixham, a couple of miles out. And there's quite a crowd have gathered here on the harbour side. These children have made a sign. What does your sign say? We love Oosterdam. Goodbye, goodbye. Ah. So for those of you who are just joining us, we're down here on the harbour at Torquay, near the living coasts. I don't know if you can hear in the distance, but the Oosterdam is over on the horizon. She's about to sail. She's been here since October and has been taken to the hearts of the people of Torquay. And so people have come down here to wave goodbye. The captain, Daniel Bolton, made a very emotional speech earlier today telling people that he'll have a lump in his throat, even though he said ship's captains are never supposed to cry. He's admitted that he will have a lump in his throat today as he leaves for Holland. The ship is part of the Holland-America line, arrived here last October, and since then, well, ever since the beginning of lockdown last summer, the ships have been a part of the horizon in Torquay. They've got a lot of people through lockdown. They've become an attraction in their own right. So people are lining up along the pier here. I'm on the old pier, the Stone Holden pier, and all the way along the pier there are people who've come to say goodbye to this much loved part of the community. There were some children here just now holding up a sign saying "We love you, Oosterdam," and goodbye. The ships are blowing their horns or tooting their whistles now. There's quite a few little boats have gone out to greet them. Also out there is the Marella. I think that's the Marella Explorer. I'm not sure. There are two Marellas. One has been out to Lyme Bay and back again today. And the Arcadia is also out there. So it's quite a long way away, obviously, because the bay is about 5 miles across. So it's about halfway between here and Brixham. It's a beautiful, beautiful day down here, and so many stunning photos have been taken over the last year as the ships have come into Torquay during lockdown to wait out the pandemic. That one there is one of the Marellas, one of the Chewy ships with their distinctive pale blue and dark blue wavy lines on the side. And then over there we have the Oosterdam, one of the Holland-America lines, and the Arcadia. And there's another one of the Marellas. The Marella Discovery is just coming back in, but I don't think we can see her from here. So the ship's captain, Daniel Bolton, has said it's going to be really emotional for them because the community in Torquay have really rallied around ever since last year when the ships were asked to help during the Remembrance Day service at 11 o'clock because people weren't allowed to gather in person. The ships blew their horns in the bay, which was really quite haunting. And then after that, a lady called Louise Lewis started a Facebook group for friends of the ships in Torquay and Lyme Bay. You can't see from here, this is the Torquay side. Pan around to the end of the pier. So I'm just next to the marina in Torquay. Underneath the living coasts, which is sadly now closed during the pandemic last year, where the penguins are or were. and the ships then started coming in from June onwards and have become a part of the scene in Torquay. Last night the Oosterdam they put their lights on at night, but last night the Oosterdam changed the lights to display the words "We love you, Torquay," with a big heart. And they've said that before they sailed today they would sound their horns, which they've just been doing, and it sounded like the other ships out there replied by blowing their whistles. I never know if it's a ship's whistle or a ship's horn, but they've definitely just been blowing them. And people have come down to say goodbye. It's really sweet. There are crowds all along here. I know there are people gathering at Paynton, at Preston, at Churston, all around, out towards Brixham. So it's been a two-way thing. The ships have cheered up people on their lockdown walks who couldn't go very far, so that the horizon looked different every day. And the crews who were stranded out there, these ships normally have up to 2,000 people on, but they've had sort of skeleton crews of about 100 to 200 people keeping all systems running safely. But those people have been away from their families for a very long time. So people in Torquay last Christmas collected boxes and sent hampers to cheer up the crews, and the crews were overwhelmed by that. And now the ship's captain from the Oosterdam has said that he's going to come back with his family to Torquay to meet some of the people who've been so kind to him and his crew during this really difficult pandemic lockdown, which has changed many people's lives, not least those who work out on the ships. And he said today actually that instead of them taking visitors to see attractions, it's been quite nice for the roles to be reversed, and they've become an attraction. So people have been coming to Torquay. They look particularly stunning at night when all the lights are on, like giant Christmas trees floating off shore. And it's quite hard to capture how enormous these ships are with a little iPhone camera like this, but they are 13, 14 stories high, and it's not until people go alongside them in small boats that they realise the size of them. So the Oosterdam is part of the Holland-America line. There have been quite a few of the dams have come. The Eurodam was here until just recently, has just gone. And he said that tomorrow, or from today now, they're setting sail around now. They'll move along the coast to Southampton, and then they'll go back to their home port in the Netherlands to prepare for cruising to start again. So for those who are joining us, there's a lot of people have come down to say goodbye. There's crowds all along here. I've just picked one spot around the bay. It's about 21 miles of coastline, and there are people spread the whole 21 miles around, come out from wherever they live to wave. But there's quite a crowd down here on the harbour side. My colleague up here, Frankie Mills, who's getting a bit close to the edge, is taking a picture of these children. Can I ask your names? Are you happy to say your names?
This is Tommy and I'm Elsie.
Hi. So why do you love the Oosterdam?
Well, we went on a boat tour around the cruise ships, and it was really funny.
It was funny?
Yeah.
Why was it funny?
We were beeping at the cruise ship.
Yeah.
And the cruise ship beeping back really loudly and so much.
Oh, so it was, hang on, I'm going to move my microphone because people can't hear. So the horn went really loudly.
Yeah.
And made you all jump.
Yeah, and it was all the people like waving a lot.
Aww. And are you brother and sister?
That's it.
Oh, thank you. I think I'm going to change this. I think I've got you on Zoom, so you're really big. Lovely. So you've come down with this today to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Don't step back. You'd be sad to see it go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank you both. There's an ambulance down here as well, so in case any of us idiots fall off the sea wall. I'm trying my best not to. for those of you just joining, we've come to say goodbye to the Oosterdam, which arrived last October and has become a really important part of the community in Torquay. People have taken it to their hearts. They love to see the ships out there, and the crews have loved the welcome that they've had from people around Torquay and Lyme Bay. So there have been up to about 9 ships, 4 or 5 at a time in Torquay, and then just around the headland here. You get into Lyme Bay and Barbican Bay, and there have been 3 or 4 there the whole time. There still are, I think there's about 6 ships still here, but these are the final days now before they all set sail back to their home ports to prepare for cruising. Somebody's ball has blown off in the wind down to the sea. We're here next to Living Coasts, which is sadly closed last year in the middle of lockdown. There's an ambulance keeping an eye to make sure nobody falls off the seawall, but there's crowds all the way along here on this beautiful sunny day. Come to wave goodbye. The Oosterdam's blown her ship's horn a few times, and the other ships responded by blowing theirs. Ship's captain Daniel Bolton, spoke to Heart Radio this morning, and he got quite emotional. He said ship's captains are never allowed to cry because they're always leaving and coming and going, but he admitted he would have a lump in his throat today because of the welcome that the people of Torquay and Lyme Bay have shown over the last year during this difficult time for his crew, when they've been locked down on their ships away from their families. The Oosterdam is one of the Holland America lines, so they're Dutch crews mainly, although I'm sure the crews come from all over the world. So it's a bit of an emotional day here, as I think that will only leave 2 ships in the bay. This is one of the Chewy ships, the Morella. There are 2, there's a Morella Discovery and Morella Explorer. I can't tell from here which one that is. And the Arcadia is also out there. So there it goes, disappearing over the horizon. You can just see here what's known as London Bridge, which is a natural rock formation. I don't know if you can quite see it, just through there, just off Beacon Cove. And the ship is disappearing into the horizon. The people here all came down to say goodbye, all the way along Holden Pier, and other people are gathering around the rest of Torquay, which is I think about 21 miles of coastline all the way around. And if it's a bit of a long way away, that's because it's nearly 5 miles between here and Berry Head in the distance. So there, out there, that little speck now on the horizon is the Oosterdam, which has been here since October. Crews received Christmas boxes from local people. Hampers were sent out. The crews have joined in by sounding their horns for New Year's Eve and for Remembrance Sunday last year. And they've been lighting up at nights, changing their lights so that they read. Last night the Oosterdam said, "We heart Torquay." There it goes, a little dot on the horizon, sailing tonight, this afternoon, out towards Southampton, and tomorrow, so I'm trying to zoom in because it's so small now, going around that headland. Tomorrow they're sailing to the Netherlands, back to their home port. I'm sure they'll all be pleased to see their families, but Captain Bolton said he's going to bring his family back to Torquay. He wants them to meet the people who've been so kind to him and his crew. over the last 7-8 months, more than that, isn't it? 9 months. I'm going to walk along the pier a bit carefully without falling off it. See if we can just see it going. There it goes. There she blows. Goodbye, Oosterdam. From the people of Torquay, Torquay, Brixham, and now she'll be passing Lime Bay, Barbican Bay, so people around that side of the coast will be able to wave her off and say goodbye. Just pan around here so you can see where we are. I'm on Holden Pier, which is the old stone pier. The Western Lady Ferry is just coming in, which is fully laden into Torquay. Just passing through the ships, the boats in the marina. She's actually gone now, completely gone. So this is Colleen Smith reporting for Devon Live. I've just noticed that you can see the seagrass beds down here a bit, which I've been writing about today. Which are a really important part of the natural environment in Torquay, where the short-nosed seahorse lives. It's just very relaxing listening to the waves crashing gently on the side of the pier here. So it's goodbye from us and goodbye from the Oosterdam.